Today is June 25th, 2023. I'm going to remove from existence. After we do this video real quick. But yesterday, at Louisville at the gas station at the edge of 62, there was a biker couple. I got out of my vehicle and they said, I see her today. They better not say a word to her. That bastard is laughing that he got away with raping her. And all the things that, they're going on and on about it. Okay? Retired Judge Pete. Someone and him laughing that he got away with this. Some retired judge, you have the Fourth Amendment over your house. You have the right to be safe and secure within your own person, your own surrounding, and yourself. You're allowed to be safe. You are to be safe. We're U.S. citizens. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. The Department of Justice looks at it as a man's home. As a castle, it shall not be entered into. No searches, no seizures without probable cause warranted. You have to have a warrant of the people in the place and things to be searched or seized. Okay? And they have to tell you why they're there so you can lawyer up and shut up for the Fifth and Sixth Amendment. And seventh, the right to remain quiet, an attorney, and right to a fair court trial, bail, and bond. And then you have the right to privacy. Okay? Where either March 15, 1623 or April 15, 1623, Dave finally confessed to Danny, our son, that he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was only Pete up there, taping me unaware, doing all those things to me. Whereas being drugged, beaten, raped, waking up with bruises, running to the bathroom, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, that it was Pete date rape drugging me with amnesia drugs, beating me, and then I got a severe personal infection, seen by Altman family physician for all this. They didn't even know what was wrong with me. They told me to buy some iron pills because they thought I was bruising too easy and here I'm being drugged, beaten, raped in my own home. I told the nurse, I said I was seen for a severe personal infection, wouldn't go away. Heart racing, throwing up, bruising, in the summer of 18. She's like, yeah, I'm real bad headaches. I said, I found out I was being date raped, drugged, beaten, raped. She looked at me and said, your ex-husband's a sick, vile animal. He is. And so is retired Judge Pete. He's a serial rapist. Okay? And where he told Danny April 15, 16, 23, because he got Eric high with their amnesia drugs on November 18, 22, Walmart 62, after they had left his name all over the place, that he, it was him, and he had him come in all the days before with me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it, for all these people turn on her, and they fell for her. Here he is, high as a kite, confessing in Walmart 62 under tape and audio. Had him dead to rights. He could have been in jail. That's how bad. That police department's looking for him and his Steve for stalking. And Danny called his dad and said he didn't know why that guy confessed. He had nothing to do with it because they framed him, drugged him, and told him to say it. I talked to a sheriff about those date rape drugs. He said those amnesia drugs are so bad they could have drugged up the people that took down the towers, told them to do it, and they don't even know they killed everyone. He said you're under somebody else's control for 5 to 6 hours. They were bragging that around me during the case. They could control anybody with those drugs. Okay. And that it was only Pete up there drugging me, taping, or doing all those things and taping me unaware. He can't hire a stalker. He can't interfere in my life. He can't have somebody take videos of me. That's very illegal, let alone us in bed and selling it on porn sites, photoshopping a shower scene. My one friend said he has a friend that has a laptop, said they could Photoshop that shower scene real easy. It's just clicking and pasting. I have another friend that said he has a friend on Facebook. They said they could take a sentence like as if I'd be a car thief and have I and car thief, and then, because everything's digital, fill in the rest of the words and then put it as one big clip. Anything could be photoshopped. I talked to a sheriff. They said anything could be photoshopped. If a person knows what they're doing, they can do anything. He said that Pete has her framed. Pete don't have anything admissible. It's a Fourth Amendment over the house. Even my one friend that used to work at the prosecutor's office, it's a fraud scheme. They made a mistake and did it in your home. As if they could, where they kicked in the door, they probably did set up on cameras. They probably did Photoshop that shower scene, and where you were so sick and bruised and throwing up, they probably did drag you and tell you to say something. They could never use it because they did it in your home. Just like Officer Reinhardt Losville, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home outside a protective light case with statements. And even until that agent personally agreed to protect you, they couldn't be in your home and it'd be illegal to look and listen. So did the Portage County Sheriffs, Massillon Police, Hartville Police. Nobody had to write in their home before. Okay. Let's see. And that he had talked to that agent up at that church about the threats on her life. And he was up there asking questions from everyone. Where I told that agent on a recorded line, somebody had told him, he called me a liar. That's obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, and tampering with witnesses. It's exactly what he did. I had a 25 grand hit on my life. And somebody called him a paid off dirty agent. He purposely obstructed justice. Instead of asking for that church's name. And just like where that guy threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle, I tried to tell him he tried to kidnap me before. He called me a liar, said, was there a camera above that bench? I don't know. If you don't know if there's a camera above that bench, you better say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? He said, I'll put you in jail. You don't see it. It's like, whatever. I had taped Terry with her permission of knowing of the attempted kidnapping. And it's the same person that took my house manager's niece, that killed my other co-worker, Lori, at my other job's family member. They took the girl to ATM and a bunch of other people. They're the drug traders out of this area, human trafficking people. He purposely let a serial killer go away. Ohio now is fourth in the nation of human trafficking. They got set up here in 18, and that agent didn't stop them. Now we're fourth in the nation. Where they were talking within the last 2 weeks about that agent being up at that church, telling that it was verified, it was him that called her back. Before I even returned his phone call, he had left a voicemail, and I couldn't get, with me not calling him back for 3 days, he should have been knocking on my door. He should have been knocking on my door, finding out where am I. Cults are dangerous, extremely dangerous. But no, he's over talking to churches. That the FBI is involved, cutting deals with him. My friend from the prosecutor's office calls it a backdoor deal, where they let people get victimized and killed for money. And they were having trouble with it in Stark County. November 6, 22, Trinity Gospel investigators, they were talking about the case in there in front of people. And they said, it was verified by an officer that the agent that returned her call is the one that told on her before she called him back. Oh, my Lord. And they walk out. They have known for a long time that he told on me before I called him back. See, they kept me up, drugged up for 3 days so I couldn't get out of bed. So they could get to him. He should have arrested him on the spot. If they ever said they were surveillancing me on their own, that retired Judge Pete, for stalking me. See, people were talking up in Akron. We went over to that church. They said that agent was even telling everybody he knew she was being drugged, beat, and raped, and he didn't care. I got to thinking about, I've lived through so much. I've been bashed in the back of the head on 12/21/18. I was human trafficked between May and June of 19. Raped and tortured between July and September of 19. In protected custody, almost shot in the head driving in the first 30 to 45 days of shooting night. By Christmas of 18, I had a hide. They broke into the duplex. I was drugged up so bad up there, I lost 70 pounds in 4.5 months. I couldn't even keep saliva down. I had 6 stalkers chased off. And I got to thinking, he said that up there to them. And I got to think, when I walked off, there was ladies talking up there. He said that he knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped. And he said he didn't care. Can you believe that? And I thought, who are you talking about? Because the only thing I knew, I had bruises I couldn't explain, throwing up, and a severe swollen personal infection that wouldn't go away, and here I'm being drugged, beat, and raped. And like I was talking to this one officer, he said those amnesia drugs are so bad they could have told those people to take down the towers. They don't even know they killed everyone. They were sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours under someone else's control. They're actually that bad. And that's how my one neighbor, Mike, got roofied and bar. Let's see. And he went out to the bank, went out to eat. Came home, changed his shoes, didn't know what happened. My coworker, Dar, got taken from a bar. And she found herself in a puddle of pee. She didn't even know she left with him. They said, a friend said she left willingly with him. That's how not funny this is. It happens more than what you think, but these people are actually breaking in people's homes, stalking them, photoshopping shower scenes, and it's already verified it's a shower scene. And they drugged me with amnesia drugs and told me to say stuff. And more than 10 went to the police. Nobody thinks retired Judge Pete is funny. My daughter-in-law, Dixie, she's like, it was ridiculous what retired Judge Pete did to you and Michelle for Dave to go out with anybody, or someone else. It's none of their business. He dated Michelle for a little while. That's where the mean game of pretend came out. Thanksgiving 18, they had wine, one set of grandkids make up some mean jokes. They caught Melissa telling the kids to lie, and then on Thanksgiving of 18, they made everything up. They're documenting mean games of pretend, and they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Back in May of 21, even the Stark County sheriffs were laughing if that Kurt just found out all those kids were lying. He is lying. I told you I can give you a whole long list of people knowing that they lied, and then Flora ratting them out October 23rd, 2019. Of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. Documented me games of pretend. My whole family spoke highly of me, and where that agent opened a real protected custody case with statements. It made me beg for my life, and then opened that thing, and for $5,000 a month, immunity for life. And even when you tell, then threaten me if I told. I already told him that someone told on me that night, the night before. He called me a liar. It was him. That's why he didn't want the church's name or the minister's name. He did a backdoor deal. Probably took the $25,000 hit of my life to let them abuse me. But the whole thing of it is those drug traders, they were getting the drugs from the amnesia drugs, were human trafficking people out of this area. And they got set up in Ohio. Now we're 4th in the nation. And all kinds of people have disappeared. Our nation abolished slavery in the 1800s. And these people are trying to bring it back by selling our children as sex slaves and to be murdered. I told you my one friend lives about 2 hours away, said his local police department was using the case that agent opened with you to get these people. They knew about the Texas group involved in your case. I said, oh, the Kingsmen. He said, is that what they called themselves? Then the retired judge in Texas involved, they went on question him and killed himself. There's another judge involved in this big human trafficking scam. They found 35 people tied up in a railroad car. They're getting ready to take care of this. And that was January 20th, 23. My phone's tapped about 6 p.m. And then February 14th, 23, the sheriffs and marshals out of this area did an 800 people sweep. California, Texas, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, Florida, and a bunch of other states that were involved that were down here. I had a 2-mile-long brigade of drug traders and human traffickers getting set up in here. I told you these people are so vile. My one coworker at my other job, they took her family member and killed her and then laughed in her face. They tied her up and cut her in pieces. They took my house manager's niece after my case started. And the investigator said it was drug traders, human trafficking people out of this area. And it's the same people that the same guy that tried to kidnap me. They said they're working with the big truck guys, following people and harassing them in groups of other people to get people out of stores and grab them. Along with the white guy with black hair, and that other guy and the white man trying to grab people, and they grab him in daylight. He could have stopped this 4.5 years ago. He has obstructed justice and tampered with evidence and tampered with witnesses. So the drug traders and human traffickers could get away with this. They mocked FBI agent John Lighthouse Tabernacle. Katie's sister, June 7th, 2023, in Walmart 62, that FBI agent John fell for the tapes before. What on earth? It was just a stunt. It was a cruel, sick stunt. Because her sister, Katie, was dating Dave behind my back, and she's a millionaire. She's a 300-pound millionaire. But they were dating, and people were saying stuff, and have Dave insult her in another store, and if I dare laugh, they were all going to get me. Because how else would they know what he said in Macy's? Because he didn't even say it around her or to her face. It was a setup because she wanted to hurt me because I was his wife, and I didn't know about them. And he's denying it, and he makes a fat and ugly joke, and Macy's buy the purses. And then at the entrance, she would have never known if it wasn't a setup for them to hear him say at me laugh. Because how would they know?